What's up? My name is Hen, and I have a video prepared that's talking about Marathon. This is me editing in post and adding this in. I'm wearing a retainer when I'm talking about this, so if you hear me while I'm talking, that's why. Alright, thank you. Okay, I've been meaning to talk about Marathon for a while. I love the game, love the art style. Well, I kind of love the game. I feel like it's got some room to grow, and that's what I want to talk about. I feel like every game has room to grow. Everything, has new stuff they can do, and Marathon it's not scratching the itch that I thought it would. It's just not doing it. So I came up with some things that I think would make the game a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. But let's talk a little bit about the game. So you've got this character here, the runner who was running through the trailer, and it was like, oh my gosh, he looks so cool. And I think when everyone saw them and they saw this little key card drop down, I mean, we thought this game was going to be so sick. I mean, this is very reminiscent of like Destiny 1, where, people see the trailer like, oh shoot, that looks fire, oh my god. But the character design on this guy looks so sick. I wish we got him added in the game, and I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I mean, he looks so cool, so cool. And then he gets shot by another character who also looks so sick. Pan over to her, she's got like this, you know, face open, suit on, but she's got this Traxxas design. We now know as Traxxas, right? At the time, we were like, whoa, it just looks like a cool design all over her. And he's in this milky water dead. And in the background, you've got these green guys. And I'd love to see that as like a default character, by the way. Like, if they just did away with this whole hero shooter thing, that was like the default character. And then you could like get cosmetics where you like take the mask off and put a helmet on instead. And it reveals that character face or whatever character face you choose. Maybe there's like some customization or something like that. That would be so sick. But anyways. But they were like, nah, hero shooter. That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in the Valorant, game director, and he's going to make a hero shooter. Power. I mean, it could be good. It could be good. But it kind of ruins the customization. I mean, there was so much they could have done with this. Imagine pulling a cosmetic out of somebody's body. What? Or pulling like out of a chest or something, right? And then you extract with it, and then you get to have that cosmetic. That'd be so sick. No. I think it's a cool idea to have a hero shooter, but it just ruined that customization for me, and that was one little tick. It's like death by a thousand cuts, right? Then we go on to the abilities that they have, and we've got, you know, all these runners. We've got Recon who can scan through walls. Wow, that's actually kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of boring. The effect looks cool where he goes tick, 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 tick on his hand, and then goes. Boo. But other than that, I mean, what do we really get? A little grenade guy that goes out. That's kind of cool. Destroyer, he's got an ultimate that only works if he lands shots, so it's not really all that useful, I guess, because you have to land shots. So if you just activate it and then you whiff a bunch of shots, your ability just did jack shit. Your Vandal, super cool character. I mean, you can double jump, you can slide, except that there's a heat system, and you gain a billion heat. And I don't have gold mods, so the game sucks, and I'm not gonna play long enough to get gold mods because it's miserable. It's like a chore to get through. Thief, he goes invisible. God, most annoying character ever with the most annoying ability ever. I don't think anyone has ever seen someone go invisible, get behind them, stab them, and been like, wow, that was such good game design. I really love that. Holy, that was such a fair fight. Yeah, no, nobody's ever said that. Oh wait, that's Assassin. Thief is really cool. I like the grappling hook. I like the loot visor. I think that's probably one of the only characters that really feels like an extraction shooter character. Like they've got cool movement. They've got something that helps them loot faster. Oh, don't get me started on Triage, dude. I hate Triage's character design. It looks so bad. His design is so uninspired. There's no mask. It doesn't fit the theme at all. The only interesting thing about him is that he's got some kind of weird looking puffer jacket that's honestly not that cool in my opinion. Maybe some people like it. Maybe some people are like, "Oh my gosh, I love Triage. I'm literally a Triage fan." Blah 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 blah. That's not me. And then he's got the like heel drone on his pocket. Cool. Great. I mean, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. I think they could have done better. And I think these abilities are kind of weak and lame. I mean, they are kind of cool, but it's an extraction shooter. I'd rather see abilities tailored around that. Like Thief. I'd love to see more thief abilities, like a grappling hook. So cool. You can grapple up to high places. You can, activate a visor that lets you see loot. That's so sick. That's so sick. You run faster with more loot in your bag. That'd be cool. But I mean, that is kind of a common theme along a lot of these characters where the movement also kind of sucks. Recon, my favorite character personally, because they look most like the original character that was proposed, just has no movement. Destroyer, I mean, he can sprint forward, but it doubles his heat intake. So what's the point? Vandal can slide, but it's very limited. And the slide in the game, by the way, when you slide down a hill, it doesn't maintain momentum. So why would I ever slide? Except for like sliding in hallways to fight people, but I don't know, it just feels so clunky. Thief grapple, very cool. Assassin, no mobility. Triage, no mobility. Rook, no mobility. And then there's the new guy, but I don't know anything about him. I haven't cared enough to look into him. Then we go on to the character names, bro. Honestly, the pre-release character names were way cooler. Blackbird, Locust, Icon, Void. Then go on to the skins. I mean, all the skins of this game suck so badly. It's all recolors, and the only cool skins that they recently released aren't even, I mean, they're not even all that. I mean, just taking a look through the most recent skins, the coolest one we have are like the White Rabbit skins, but I mean, these should have been coming out on release. The pre-order skins, they are just recolors pretty much. I mean, they look kind of cool, but in game they look a lot worse than anything else. The White Rabbit looks good. That purple one on Recon looks good. The red one on Vandal looks kind of cool, but everything else is I don't know. Okay, well, hold on. Destroyer with the Arachne colors, that does look fire. But I'm getting off topic. That most of the other skins literally just suck. They're all recolors and they all look bad. I mean, the black and white skins, of course, they're gonna look cool because they're black and white. But it's like, dude, this is like tier 100 battle pass skins, and that's the only one that looks good. Yikes! 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 I mean, if the OG skin sucks, at least I can change in most other games to a cooler skin. Maybe the game gives you a bad normal skin, and so it's like, okay, you can buy a cooler skin. So then I go buy the cooler skin, but there's nothing cooler to buy here. It doesn't make sense for me. And you're already paying $40 to buy this game regardless. It's not free to play. So you go in, pay $40, and then they're like, yeah, spend another $20 on a cool looking skin. No, I'm not paying $60 just to have a decent looking skin so I can finally play the game and not feel like, I don't know, I'm looking at trash. And then I have to look at all my teammates and their mid skins and I'm like, oh my god, dude. I don't know. I think the designs for most of these characters are hot buns. Assassin, buns. What was it? Vandal? I mean, Vandal and Glitch, right? Her face kind of looks kind of weird. She's got I think her outfit looks cool, but I think they just could have done a lot better on her. Triage, I think he could have looked a lot better. I think just his outfit is so lame. It's so lame. I really would like to commend the Rook design. I think that one looks good. I think the Destroyer design looks good, and I think the Recon design looks good. I like those very, blocky characters that because it fits the vibe that they pitched at the beginning of the game. Now, if you want to take the mask off, that's cool, but make it look like the design from the trailer where the mask is off and you see this character that looks like it's built into the Marathon universe, not some guy with a hood and a skin tight spandex suit who's out, stabbing you from behind. All right, switching gears a little bit off of the hero shooter, let that sink in. Let's talk about the balance. I mean, the balance of the game is very Tarkov-y. You die very fast. And this is supposed to be a niche game where you make a whole build and, you put a bunch of time into putting all the right pieces together and you're like, oh my god, now I have 500 movement speed so I can go hella fast. And then you get like 2 tap to the head and you're dead. It's like, really? Really? I'm down in 0.3 seconds. Why would I ever make a build? That it doesn't make any sense. And it's like, oh, we'll just get purple shields, dude. You just need to suffer through it till you get purple shields. That sucks. That sucks. That sucks. If the difference between a gray shield and a purple shield is so wide, then like how could a new player even get into the game at the late game? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, unless you killed them with all of the gray shields, but then you're still dying in 2 shots. I mean, these guns do ridiculous amounts of damage. So I died too fast, and you could just say, oh, okay, well, that's just a skill issue. You're just bad. You just need to get better. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Except that all my friends who also play the game, they all die fast too. And you can say, well, you're all trash. Well, then we're not gonna play. We're not gonna play. And I mean, you can see that happening right now. People hop on and they die in like 3 seconds, and they're like, that wasn't fun. I didn't have fun. Now, if all three people on a team are shooting you and you die in zero point 0.3 seconds, sure. That's fair. You totally aggroed the whole team. That's on you. But if you get shot by one person, you're down in like half a second. Some people like tactical shooters, but I can't get into a tactical shooter where I have to make a build, run in, like spend 20 minutes looting, lose all my shit, including all the shit that I built, and then have to rebuild it again. I mean, that's just so aggravating. And all this, hmm, that's just not fun. I find that not fun. And clearly, I think a lot of other people also find that not fun. I think my next complaint starts with perimeter. We'll go through some of the maps. I think I've only really got two maps that I want to criticize. I think that Dire Marsh and Outpost both are really cool. Really, really cool. I think Outpost could wait a little bit longer on the rook spawning because I mean you get into there into the pinwheel and it feels like the rooks are like already there basically jumping all over you. But perimeter, it feels so boring, dude. I know it's the beginning map, but it feels so empty. There's like not any bot patrols. Like the bots don't like march from one side to the other. It'd be so cool. So in Helldivers, they've got these like patrols that'll go through. And I wouldn't say do it exactly like Helldivers because I think their system's a little flawed too. But I'd really love to see something where the bots patrol different areas and they don't just stay in their area. They like march from one side to the other so they could literally catch you off guard and you could hear them blah 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 and they're like chanting or something. That'd be so sick. But obviously that's something that I wouldn't want to see right now. I don't know. It feels empty. It feels like very each POI is its own place, and then you're just kind of walking between POIs instead of walking between a connected map. I think the original trailer kind of sold us on this idea that everything was this big connected facility. Like there's this big lake that they're walking through. He's running through all these tunnels that are underground. I would have loved to see something like that. I mean, obviously you can't just go in and change all the maps. That would take way too long. But having a more connected area. This is why I really like Cryo Archive and I really like Outpost and Dire Marsh is okay, but it falls into a lot of the same like big empty area, next POI, big empty area, next POI. You're not Fortnite, you know. You're making what's basically a city that people are exploring in. Whatever. In my opinion, that's what it looks like you're making. So perimeter, kind of boring, but Cryo Archive, that's supposed to be hella fun. And honestly, I was so hyped for this, so hyped. It was sold as this like ultra high PvP area, best of the best, take it in, and you go in, you risk all your crazy loot and you fight people, but then it's also the hardest PvE challenge too because you go in and you fight all these hard bots, but you get really really good loot. And I was like, okay, you know what? I've been struggling a little bit in regular marathon, but this is where it's at. And then you guys gave the free kit, and I was like, bet I'm ready to go do this. So I go in, and nothing's explained. Like there's literally nothing. I played on, I think it was like launch week, and there were no real YouTube tutorial videos. And I'm sorry, if I have to watch a YouTube tutorial to figure out how to play your map in your game, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I refuse to go on YouTube and look up something that's just bad game design if I have to, in my opinion. In my opinion, all right? This is all in my opinion. But I go in, I get hella good loot. I get stuck in some boss room with some big ass dude, and he's got this shield on, and I get absolutely crushed. And I was like, okay, you know what? That's my fault. That's my fault. Let me chip in 5,000 of my own loot and go back in and do it again. And I'm learning the level up system, and I'm learning the map, and I'm learning where to go, and I'm like, okay, this is sick, and I'm fighting through the bots, and my friends, I actually convinced them to get back on and try this with me, and they're like, okay, cool, we lose one, but we can go again, and we get so much loot, and we're ready to go, and we're ready to extract, and we just can't figure out how to extract. We can't find, I think it's like a panel or like a device or something, but how are we supposed to know that? How are we supposed to, like, there's no little, hey, find the extract thing, and then activate the extract panel, and then go find the extract, and then extract at that. The only time I ever did it was when someone walked me through it, and I still don't know how they did it. I mean, just yesterday I played the PvE mode, which amazing choice, by the way. I love the PvE mode. I would love to see more of the PvE mode and other styles, right? With those like patrols and heavier bot, stuff. But I I was just so annoyed that I couldn't find the extract because I type in chat to my teammates. I'm like, hey guys, do you know how to extract? And they're like, nope. I was just gonna figure it out. So we're like, how many months in of this map being out and people still don't know how to extract? That's I'm sorry, that's bad game design. This is supposed to be the best of the best that Marathon has to offer, and you have nothing. There's nothing. We can't do anything. So there's heroes that I don't want to play with because they look weird and their abilities are weird and the skins all suck and the names suck and the balance of the game is just hella die fast, die fast. I mean the bots. I like the design with the bots. I think their damage could be toned down, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But I mean, PvP, it sucks in my opinion. I would love to see it slowed down. I saw the gameplay for the alpha, and I thought that looked kind of fun, where it was like a lot slower. Um, but maybe that's just not what other players are looking for, or maybe the streamers just ruined it. We'll see. And then Cryo Archive, it was supposed to be the best of the best, and it just didn't live up to what I wanted. And then Perimeter, the first map, right? The first map that all my friends join, they see, and they're like, okay, well, this kind of sucks buns. I don't really know if I want to keep playing, and whatever. So here's what I would do to fix, because I think if you don't offer solutions, you're just ranting and you're just yapping and you're just hating. I would make a new queue, right? Same one as Cryo Archive, PvE mode, same thing, but we're not going to have any characters. We're just going to have one character, and it's going to be the same as Rook, right? But with a cooler skin. So, like, maybe that OG trailer running guy, right? Or those guys in the background that are like lime green and white, like, because those are the marathon colors. It's supposed to be marathon. No abilities. Stupid abilities. Get that hero shooter stuff out of here. We're going to increase the move speed by like 1.5 to 2x. And then we're going to make the slide distance and momentum 2x to 3x. So give him like a Vandal power slide permanently. Like if you want to give him a power, just put Vandal power slide on the character. That feels fun. And when you slide, it has that like effect that goes over you. That's fun. Honestly, just give the Vandal kit to the player without the double jump. That would probably be hella fun. Running faster, sliding faster. Just give the player more movement because the game feels so boring if you're playing a character that isn't movement. So we've got the movement down. We've got like basic character, and I mean you can now look at players and they look cool. You can have no abilities, so you're not getting dunked on by some random shit. You're not getting overheated by some random little spider that comes up and explodes on you. It's PvE, so you don't have to worry about the player balance, just the mob balance, right? And now you've got the movement that's fun. So let's nerf the enemy HP by half and increase ammo drops by 2x. I know you could be like, oh my god, but what about the economy? What about blah, blah, blah? It's so boring to shoot an enemy for like 30 minutes and then have to pick up the ammo from that one just to kill the next enemy. I'd love to see this change implemented with those like starter packs, right? So then you can change how much you start with and how much you're able to progress with. I think it's just so yeah. Leave it at that. Leave it at that, right? Make all the extracts visible on the map immediately when the game starts, or make the panels visible on the map, right? And make them like pulse or something, so it's really obvious, so the player knows like, hey, this is where I'm supposed to go. Because when I, as a player, load into this map and I see nothing on the map, and you're like, oh, well, you have the scanning devices that you can scan and locate different locations. I just I don't understand it, and it makes me not want to play. I only found out about the scanner devices because I was rubbing my face on a wall and I got the prompt to show up, which is just like, okay, cool. But yeah, make them visible on the map, but keep them locked to level 3. I think that's still a cool feature, right? But if they're on the map, at least I can see where I'm supposed to be, at least see where I'm supposed to go. Because if I show up there and I've got level 3, or if I have level 3 and I don't know where to go, like I don't know what to do. Make the leveling system a little bit easier to find. You don't have to make it easier per se, but like if the key card's on the floor, make it glow or have a glitch effect or play little noises like pring ding 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 ding, pring ding 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 ding, pring ding 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 ding. I mean, it'd just be easier to find them. You can't find them. I can't find them. My friends can't find them. My teammates can't find them. We can't get past this, and we're not D1 level sweats like Shroud who are going to go crazy in this game and find every little niche and watch all the YouTube tutorials. We're going to hop on. We're going to look for this stuff. If we can't find it, we're going to die. And that feels like shit. So make them glow a little bit. I mean, I need a little bit of yellow paint, just a little bit. Um, please. I don't want to spend 20 hours looking for a tiny card on the floor or counter. But enough of that. Next, I would decrease the bot damage by 20%. Small change. But this is just to counter the fact that the bots do a lot of damage and your shields kind of a lot. They kind of break. And I would rather see an increase in bot spawn rate than an increase in bot damage. I would rather see in Cryo Archive, especially like floods of UESC coming at you, and it's like, oh my god, they're rushing me, right? Then tons of bots just, or like two bots that just and then I'm dead and then I'm knocked. I understand you can get picked up, right? Blah blah blah, but it's like it'd be cooler to have bots rushing you with their smart AI that I know they have. I've played against them. I definitely get harassed by them. But like your spawning system is very smart, right? Whenever a player walks in, they spawn in from the top, so you don't have to keep them loaded all the time. And then the bots that are in the main area, from what it seems like, they're not always there. I definitely think there's room in the performance of the servers to add this in. And I would love to see a game design like that, where it's just your character, no abilities, you run faster, you slide further, and it keeps the momentum when you slide down a hill. That's so aggravating. That drives me crazy, right? Enemy HP in half, double ammo, increase spot spawn rate, decrease the damage, right? And then make the extracts visible. Please, 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 Marathon, make this change. I would love to see it. I'd love to see really just a game where there aren't characters. I want to pull a cosmetic out of the head of a robot and put on a head that looks kind of like theirs. I want to put on a rook head, right? That would be cool. That'd be so sick. Or you like extract with it and it gives you a random cosmetic or something. Like Repo has those coins and you get the coin, you put it in the machine, and it gives you a random cosmetic on your body. I would love to see like, hey, here's a leg cosmetic, here's a boot cosmetic, here's a hip pack cosmetic, here's a backpack cosmetic, things like that. And if you want to keep the abilities in, have them in, but have them as like an item maybe, or as like another slot. And it's like, oh well, how do players know what you have? I mean, maybe they just don't. Maybe they just don't. Maybe you just don't tell them. Because if you're fine with not telling players where the extract is, I'm sure that players will be fine with not knowing whether the player has a small grenade that looks like a crab that rolls at them, or just make that an item, a grenade. That'd be so cool, like a little grenade that like crawls towards people. You throw like 3 of them out, they're like crawling everywhere. Whoa. Anyways, that's my rant. That's what I want Marathon to be. I love the design of this game. I love the game. I think it's super cool. I know that Joe Siegler left, and I am worried for the game because I know that the player counts are dropping. I can feel it when I queue, but I love this game. I really liked it, and I've been watching it forever. I've been watching it even before I started watching Arc Raiders. I saw its original announcement trailer way back, like 3 years ago. I saw the Arc Raiders trailer, and I was like, the Arc Raiders trailer looks meh, but the Marathon one looks so much cooler. I'd love to be in that universe more. And then Arc Raiders launched, and I was like, holy shit, Arc Raiders looks so freaking cool. I can't wait to see Marathon. And my friend would get so sick and tired of me because I'd be yapping in his ear. I'd be like, Arc Raiders is so cool, but I can't wait to see what Marathon does and blah, blah, blah. Or, Arc Raiders has these super cool AI. I wonder if Marathon will also feature that cool AI. And I want to see Marathon succeed so badly, so badly. And I love the new mobs that they have, the like flying thing that like shoots missiles at you. But I can't get far enough into the game to even interact with that content. Like I can't get good enough guns, I can't get good enough mods, I can't get good enough shields. because it feels like a slog, a chore to get through. I'm dealing with players who kill me instantly. And yeah, it's a skill issue, but you know what? That's not fun. It's not fun for me. It's not fun for my friends. It's not fun for my friends' friends who join. And, I'm like, hey, let's play. And they're like, nah, dude, that sucks. And honestly, nobody's even talking about the art controversy anymore because nobody gives a shit about it. Man, I just wish this game. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I might move this back earlier in the video, but if I don't, I do not like the way Perimeter looks with its outdoor textures, specifically the rocks. I think the rocks look really bad, and I think they need to change it ASAP. I don't know what they would change it to. I don't maybe just remove some of the rocks, honestly, but like those tall like hills that go up on the side, the textures on the side look really bad, in my opinion. I think that it looks like plastic dirt, and if that's what you're going for, all power to you. I still think it looks bad. And I don't think citizens would be walking around staring at plastic dirt all day because that looks so bad. All right, cool. That's it. See ya.